We are so back. Tottenham are finally back in action in the Premier League, and we take on Leicester away in the opening round on Monday night at the King Power Stadium, a place where we've had some fantastic memories over the last few seasons. I know we all remember Steven Bergwijn's heroics coming off the bench, just absolutely insane. I'm not sure it's going to be quite as dramatic this time around. However, it's a new season. There's renewed hope, renewed optimism, renewed excitement, renewed everything as we prepare to go through 7, 8, 9, 10 grueling months of football. And Tottenham Hotspur, we all love it. We love to watch the club. As much as we might get frustrated and angry, it is time to sit back down, whether you're going to the games or watching them at home, and get fully immersed in Tottenham Hotspur, in Ange Postecoglou, and hope that we can deliver a good season. Now, ahead of this first game against Leicester, I want to go through who I think Ange Postecoglou should be starting when we visit the Midlands on Monday night. So I'm essentially just going to go through my entire starting 11, starting with the goalkeeper. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. Vicario is, of course, our undisputed number one. Took the number one shirt this summer as well. Hasn't looked incredible in pre-season, but give him a few games to warm up. He will, of course, be going in goal for Tottenham. At left-back, hopefully, we are seeing the full return of Destiny Udogie, who played a little bit against Bayern Munich in the final pre-season game for Tottenham. Of course, he was a massive miss for us last season with the way that he plays inverted, the way he can get up the pitch. He's got a year of experience at Tottenham under his belt now, so hopefully we're going to see an improved version of him as well, which would just be amazing. So Destiny Udogie is going to slot in at left-back for us, hopefully. The dynamic duo of Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero should hopefully be our two centre-back pairings. Radu Dragushin had an amazing Euro 2024. However, I don't think he is quite on the same level as Mickey van der Ven or Christian Romero yet. Christian Romero winning another trophy with Argentina this summer, lifting the Copa America. What a player. He is my tip to be Tottenham's player of the season for the upcoming campaign. Mickey van der Ven as well. Didn't get much game time for the Netherlands during Euro 2024, but we know how important he is to us, his pace, and he just loves it. The goals that he scored at our stadium last year, you could see the way he celebrates how much he's enjoying playing for Tottenham. So hopefully we see those two pair up in centre-back. And then on the right, I believe it will be Pedro Porro. Jed Spence has put in a very strong case and an amazing redemption arc over the last few weeks during pre-season, and I think with Emerson Royale now out the door, it does look like Spence is going to be our backup right back and provide competition for Pedro Porro. But Pedro Porro's contributions in attack means he's virtually undroppable for Ange Postecoglou. He scores, he assists, he plays the inverted role really, really well. Hopefully for Tottenham, we're going to see our strongest back five with those four defenders and Vicario in goal. Midfield is where it gets a little bit tricky. So we suddenly have a load of options for who we could play in the centre of the park. We have got the likes of Lucas Bergvall, we have got Archie Gray, we have got Pat Matasati, Rodrigo Bentancur, James Maddison. The list could go on. For me, personally, this is my opinion, I think, starting in midfield for this game against Leicester, we're going to have Rodrigo Bentancur. He had a relatively good campaign for Uruguay in the Copa America over the summer. I think people forget how much value he has to Tottenham and what he can do when he's at his best. So I think, for me, he is one that I would be starting. And alongside him, I would probably play... I personally think Ange might go with Archie Gray. And the reason for that is the Yves Bissouma controversy. Maybe he'll work his way back into that starting 11 soon. Of course, there's that argument that Pat Matasar could play either one of the roles that I've already mentioned in Bentancur's or Archie Gray's, but I feel like Ange really likes Archie Gray, is willing to spend the £40 million on him, and I think Bentancur offers us something different in midfield, so I'm going to go with those two sitting just in front of the defence. Then I'm going to go for a three across, sitting in front of those two midfielders, starting on the left with Heung-min Son. Captain, of course, we all know that he is going to be starting this game, leading the boys out for a second season as captain after Harry Kane, of course, left alongside Hugo Lloris. He's looked relatively sharp on that left wing during pre-season, so it's nice to see him returning to some of his best form. Of course, there are areas that he needs to sharpen up on as we head into the Premier League season. He's scored an amazing goal against the K-League All-Stars while we were doing our tour in South Korea. Went a little bit missing during the minutes against Bayern Munich, but hopefully he can get those last bits of sharpness into his legs ahead of this one and be starting on that left wing. I think James Maddison will play that number 10 role, and I think that he will be ahead of Lucas Bergvall for now. I think purely because it is James Maddison. We know what he can do. Those first 10 games of the season, last season, he was pivotal in helping us stay undefeated and get to the top of the league, and obviously the injury derailed his campaign a little bit, but I do think he will be in that number 10 role for his return to Leicester. He will, I would imagine, thrive on the occasion of playing his old club, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him score a goal or at least get an assist or do something special back in his old stadium. On the right, another difficult one to pick because we have the likes of Brennan Johnson, we have the likes of Mikey Moore that we could even mention, but I think Ange may go with Dejan Kulusevski in this right-wing role, purely because Kulusevski has been arguably the standout performer in pre-season for Tottenham. I know he was playing in that false 9 striker role and he scored a lot of goals. He played really, really well, and I think that his form just makes him virtually undroppable. But with the introduction of Dominic Solanke to the squad, I don't think Kulusevski can play in that position now, so I think he will move back out to the right, which is maybe a little bit harsh on Brennan Johnson. However, Kulusevski has looked very up for it. He's looked very sharp in the preparations for the campaign, and for that reason, I'm going for him to start on that right wing. So there is only one position left to pick, and who is it going to be? Is it going to be Richarlison starting as our striker? I don't think it will. I think, having read the reports that Ange Postecoglou was desperate to get Dominic Solanke over the line into a squad for the first game of the season, I think he will be thrown straight into the starting 11 and he will play from the very get-go. He will have had pretty much a week's worth of training, so it's not like he will be completely unfamiliar with the squad. Dominic Solanke, £65 million. Oh God, I'm hoping that he delivers, and I'm hoping that a debut goal would kick his confidence off straight away. It would be the most ideal situation. I do think he will get the nod over Richarlison, despite Richarlison's sort of public announcement that he was turning down Saudi Arabia to stay at Tottenham because he wanted to achieve something here and of course make the World Cup for Brazil in a couple of years' time as well. However, Richarlison will very likely come off the bench at some stage in the game. So that is the starting 11. Of course, there are lots of players on the bench. We'll probably get a look in with the likes of Pat Matassar, Lucas Bergvall could have been in with a shout for James Maddison's position, Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner, Richarlison. Those are 5 subs already that Ange could utilise, and then you've got the young guns, the likes of Mikey Moore expected to be on the bench, Radu Dragusin if needed, Ben Davis of course. All of them should be available and on the bench for us. It's getting very, very exciting. We're very close now. The Premier League is underway. There have been games on already, so we are fully back in the swing of things, and now I'm just patiently waiting for Tottenham, and hopefully they really don't ruin my week before it's already begun on Monday night, and we just get the win and get off to a positive start like we did last term under Ange Postecoglou. But yeah, let me know what you thought of my starting 11. Do you agree with it? What positions would you change? And are there any players you feel are being harshly left out by myself? And if you were to change them, what would you do? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, I'm going to be doing plenty of content surrounding Tottenham now that the Premier League's back, including match reactions, predictions, analysis, anything you can imagine really. So subscribe to follow along the journey as Tottenham hopefully give us a season to remember, finally win the silverware, and have a great Premier League campaign as well. That's it from me. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, come on you Spurs.